I found a shelter down in Goliad that not only provided me with power, but it also gave me a place to keep my fire supplies, store some of the things that are most important, and also give me an opportunity to spread out and do a little bit of work. Very near the location at which I'm camping, an event occurred in late March 1836 that not only affected the outcome of the Texas Revolution, but it also affected the relationship between the United States and Mexico. While I will go into some historical aspects, the primary reason that I came to visit La Bahia was because I wanted to check out the furniture that was built in the soldiers' barracks. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I like it when the moon and Venus hang out together.
Well, this would be the kitchen. Obviously, all of this is restored to somewhat its original existence, but and then of course it's commercialized. You can come in and you're separated from an actual experience, but this is the kitchen of and birthplace of General Zaragoza, who was the victor in what many people don't know, the date behind Cinco de Mayo. A lot of people confuse it with Mexican independence, but it was actually the defeat of France in its attempt to take over Mexico in 1862. There's a depiction of the battle, and it was a single and very, very decisive battle, similar to the Battle of San Jacinto, with, of course, the Mexican forces defeating the French. And this is basically the house that he was born in, and they've restored it to a degree. Some of the memorabilia that belonged to him, and obviously information specific to the battle itself in Puebla. Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May.
Many people who watch my videos are probably familiar with the flag with the words "Come and Take It" on it. That's from the Battle of Gonzales, and that would be considered the Lexington and Concord of the Texas Revolution, the first battle of the Texas Revolution, Battle of Gonzales. That's commemorated here at this location. And walking around this compound, I couldn't help but think of what it was like that day, the sentiment behind the event that I'm going to go into detail later, what it would be like to be there at that time, especially as a Texas soldier. The main reason that I came here was because I wanted to go in and I wanted to check out the soldiers' barracks. I wanted to check out the furniture in the soldiers' barracks. Many of you may be familiar with my Uncle Gary. He is a master carpenter, and he was commissioned to do the job of building the furniture in the soldiers' barracks. Now, if you're not familiar with my uncle, you can go back to the Lost Oak series in my video. I did 3 videos where he and I were working together to finish up completing the build on Sara. But I knew that one of the jobs that he's done was the soldiers' barracks in La Bahia, so I wanted to check it out. And one of the things that I was most fascinated with was the joinery that was used in some of the benches and the tables, and the way that basically they were able to one-off build a table, but that's the way it would have been done back in the 1830s or before. And so it was built to specs as it would have been in the 1830s, and Then of course distress, what actually looks like it's, you know, well used and still perhaps original pieces from that era, which I was absolutely amazed by. And just another shout out to my uncle. The delegates sent to the town of Washington on the Brazos declared Texas independence March 2nd, 1836. In addition to declaring independence, they unanimously named Sam Houston commander of the armies, not only the regular army, but also the militia or the volunteers. At this time, Sam Houston sent word to Colonel Fannin that he needed to retire from Goliad and he needed to rejoin the army. Unfortunately, Fannin delayed that order by a couple of days, and when he finally did get on the move, he ended up getting overrun by General Urrea of the Mexican army. Colonel Fannin and his men fell relatively quickly to General Urrea, and at that point they were taken as prisoners of war. On Palm Sunday, March 27, 1836, Colonel Fannin's men were taken out by 3 different groups in 3 different directions and later fired upon by the Mexican army under the order of General Santa Anna. The wounded were lined up in the courtyard and executed, and then later Colonel Fannin as well was executed. It was told that he gave a gold watch to the man who was his executioner in hopes that he would have a proper burial, but unfortunately he was put in a pile with the rest of them burned, and ashes were buried.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All the best, always.
Wanna come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel, can you dig it, fool? Can you dig it?